Welcome to Button Willow Raceway Park on a very, very cold January morning. I am here to compete in the 86 Cup with my GR86. So we're gonna go into track, do a couple laps, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly what you can expect from this entire series I'm gonna do this season.
All right, here we are in the first session, kind of getting used to these tires and the car. So it's a pretty cold day. And these SX2s are very progressive, but they don't really have a ton of grip. They're a fairly hard kind of compound, so the car tends to slide around a lot, and it's not that, I'm just not that used to the car sliding around quite so much. And so that's part of driver development, is to learn how to drive more at the limit where the car is sliding more. So my confidence is like not very high right now so far with this new setup, so to speak. All right, I'll see if we can put in like one decent lap now. Let's see how it goes. See if we can put down one decent lap, kind of as a baseline.
So this is the tightest turn on the circuit, and when you're in second gear, it's pretty difficult to get all the power down because there's too much torque even in the small motor, so a shift to third pretty quickly. Now we're coming up to what's called Cotton Corners, which is a right, and then a quick left, and I definitely got better throughout the weekend. That was not the best way to take it. And through here, ideally you want to have full throttle all the way through, but I'm not at full throttle here. This is basically first thing in the morning. I'm still getting used to the car. We still should be full throttle all the way through here. Coming up to this left, we're doing, close to 100 miles an hour, and then we brake, and this is a pretty tricky corner, and I've lost a lot of speed there because it's sort of difficult to get the front of the car to grip as you're going through there. Now we're coming up to probably the fastest corner on the track. It's called Riverside, and again, it's I'm kind of early in the day here, and I'm coming up on this car over here you see on the right.
Oh dear. Well, that screwed that lap.
So I thought I lost some time over there, but you'll see I actually gained it back. So I did lift off the throttle like a fair bit. And then coming down this short little straightaway here, we're coming into this long sweeper.
A little less greedy this time.
It's actually called sweeper, and I talked about being less greedy because I went in too hot the first time.
There we go.
Not the best way to take the corner.
A little better.
But I'll explain to you a little later in the video how I got faster over the weekend.
A little better that time.
Again, full throttle all the way through here, through those S's, all the way up to the beginning of the front straightaway where you brake pretty hard, and probably not a bad way to take it, but I could definitely do it a little better. And let's see what the lap time is.
I think it's going to be a little bit slower. Let's see what it is. 209.9. All right.
So that was actually a faster lap time than my previous one. Let's go back to the pits.
The second session was not as good as the first one, which I ran a 209. And the first one, this was a 210, and there was a bunch of yellow flags. There's some hazards on the track. I wasn't able to put in a clean lap, but I'm still getting used to the car. I'm still not that fast, but the whole point of this is to get in a ton of track time, and I am having fun. The 86 Cup is a time attack style challenge series, and it is for street cars. And there's different classes. So the lowest class, the entry class, which I'm competing in, is called stock class, and it allows the least amount of mods, basically just a little bit of camber, and then everybody is running the same tires, the Champiro SX2s from GT Radial, and they're actually sponsoring the series. Then you go up to street class, which is the next level up, and you're allowed more modifications, I think suspension, and a couple of things like that, wheels and tires. Then there's two other classes. I think one is called modified, I might have that wrong, and then there's an unlimited class. And so basically as you go up, you're allowed more and more modifications. So I wanted to compete in stock class with this car because it's the least expensive way to get in laps, it's the least expensive way to get experience, and this is way cheaper than running a more powerful car, let me tell you. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about track days, is they can get pretty expensive because when you're running a more powerful car, your big expenses are going to be consumables. We're talking about gas, we are talking about brakes, we're talking about tires, we're talking about oil changes. All that stuff is just a lot more expensive in a more powerful car, and in fact you don't need to go up much in horsepower to have a much bigger increase in expense. So the reason I picked this car is because it is just a less expensive car to go to the track. by basically a magnitude of about 3x. This is 3x cheaper to go to the track than my Supra is, because that car just takes a lot more, it's got a lot more power, so a lot more brakes, a lot more gas especially, and a lot more tires. It just goes to that stuff much more quickly, and I'm just not going to be able to do as many track days as I can with this little guy here, which is low power, and believe me, it's plenty of fun. So this is Steven, you're competing in the 86 Cup. Tell me about your car and what class you're in.
This year I'm going to do Unlimited. Last year I did Modified class. Basically the only change is I took all the restrictions out of the exhaust, and I'm going to be running the 85 full time this year. Try to throw as much at the car as I can and try and squeeze as much performance out of it, you know?
They're plotting how to get faster over there. Those 86 Cup folks, they're scheming, I can tell.
Day 2.
Good morning from a very cold Buttonwillow Raceway Park in Southern California, and today we're back for the second round of the 86 Cup. We're going to be competing, and yesterday I put down a personal best, so today we're going to see if we can better that. So let's go and do some laps.
This is my quickest lap so far, so I'm going to walk you through it. So we just come off the front straight, and now we're going down the short little section, which is going to come up to a very, very tight right-hander. The idea is to get on the power as early as possible. I decided to leave it in third gear so I wouldn't have to shift through second. I'm not sure if I did that quicker or slower, but I think that worked well for me. Caught in corners coming up here.
Overcooked it. That's okay.
But here I decided to go a little bit slower and just get on the power as early as I could through this section. Trying to be full throttle as much as possible here, and I think I was. Club corner.
Damn it.
Coming up to bus stop.
That wasn't it. Overcooking it.
So I was being a little too aggressive through these sections, but I'm back on the throttle here. Look at the speed. It's definitely higher than my previous, well actually it's not, but still higher than I was going the day before. Coming up to Phil Hill, this is called. It's a sharp right over the hill.
Better, better, better.
Okay, now we're going down this short little straightaway, and we're going to go right into Sweeper, which is a very long corner that is decreasing radius. And I'm letting the car drift out to the edge of the track, and I'm on the gas, trying to get out of there quicker, and that was pretty good.
Better. Better.
And now we're coming up to the end, or coming up to the beginning of the front straightaway here. And I think I'm going to try to brake a little bit earlier to get a better shot at getting on the power earlier. Like that.
Let's see what this was. Let's see what this was. 208, yes, yes, yes.
So let's head back to the pits.
The third session was the one. I actually put down my personal best. I tried to implement the stuff that I'd been working on, and I picked up another 0.4 seconds, so now I'm into the 208 range, which is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Started with a 210 a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm down to 208, so I picked up a full 2 seconds, which is a lot, actually. So I think I'm beginning to understand how the car works a little bit better, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it too, because a lot of it is just being able to use full throttle for long sections of the track, and that's sort of difficult psychologically to do, if you know what I mean. But I'm getting used to it, and I'm learning to work with the car more and fight a little bit less with the car and maintain the tires in that optimal zone, which means doing a hot lap and a cool down lap, maybe 2 hot laps, but basically trying to maintain that tire temperature a little bit lower, plus being overcast right now, that definitely helped. Don't know if you can see that glider over there. That's pretty damn cool. All right, this is the Tesla Corsa competition. It's very, very quiet. I was just remarking to somebody out there that there's cars doing laps and we can't even hear them. All right, here comes the Teslas down the front straight, and listen to them. What a great weekend. I'm really starting to appreciate what the engineers at Toyota and Subaru have done with this car. It really is an amazing car that handles so well, and is such a good driver development car. I'm having more fun in this quote-unquote slow car than I have in fast cars at the track, because this thing is neutral, it's well balanced, and it really is teaching me how to drive. And to me, that is the number one thing. And if you enjoy this kind of track content, please subscribe. There's going to be a whole lot more. My name is Eric. Thanks for watching.